welcome to our Sunday morning meditation service. The word for today is I trust grace is my constant blessing. Grace is not a blessing I need hope for. It is the blessing I can count upon. It is trusting I will have what I need when I need it, that my support will come to me, even from the most unlikely channels. Grace is knowing that God is with me and within me throughout my life. So we're going to be doing a chant. It's a call and response. And let's do it. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my eyes. Open my eyes to see only love, to see only love, illuminating love, illuminating love from the ascended one, from the ascended one. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. Open my heart to feel only love. Illuminating love from the divine one. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. Open my mind to be only love. Illuminating love from the beloved one. do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love. Illuminating love, the ascended one. Illuminating love from the divine one. Illuminating love from the beloved one. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember every breath I take is your love. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. Breathing in your love brings peace and compassion. Open my eyes to see only love. Open my heart to feel only love. Open my mind to be only love. Illuminating love remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love. All I have to do is remember. Every breath I take is your love.
Good morning, everyone. Most people wouldn't call this a good morning that I just had, but when I came into my office today, I found out someone had stolen my sandals from my office over the Thanksgiving holiday. And that's a very bad thing to do. I mean, it's not that bad for me because I'm just waiting for the radio report that says someone was hit by lightning. And then I'll go collect my sandals. Today I want to talk about gratitude. I want to begin by sharing this quote I used last week. Can we have this first PowerPoint, please? Learn, practice, and embrace gratitude, and you will heal your mind and your life. No other religion or spiritual practice is necessary. If you live gratitude, exude gratitude, and you will come into the enlightened consciousness of the Masters. I didn't really elaborate on gratitude last week. I actually spoke about Thanksgiving, which I know the difference between them is very subtle, but I'd like to point out that difference today because while it may seem to be minuscule, it is vast in difference. Let's begin with these two definitions from Webster's Dictionary. Thanksgiving, the act of giving thanks, a prayer expressing gratitude, a public acknowledgement or celebration of divine goodness. Gratitude, the state of being grateful, thankfulness, and there should be more to that statement. That's okay. I don't know if you have it. Because of the Thanksgiving holidays, it was not possible to get the PowerPoints in last week, so we thought we were going to get them in this morning before we got started, and so there were a lot of PowerPoints that had to be typed. And so now the essential part of gratitude here is the state of being grateful, thankfulness as a state of mind. And in short, the difference is that thanksgiving is giving thanks in return for some benefit or favor done. And we do this, spontaneously here and there. Someone pays a compliment on your work, or someone returns your wallet. You have the hostages who have just been released or are being released, and they are certainly thankful. They're not thankful to that vicious, evil gang called Hamas. They're thankful to God for their release, thankful possibly to the negotiators that got their release. But in time, that thankfulness will diminish and possibly even disappear. Whereas gratitude is a state of mind. And I want to share this with you as specifically as I wrote it down this morning. Gratitude is the state of mind one can cultivate, which when achieved reveals a transformation in a person's consciousness, a transformation which feels and knows and senses divine goodness, which is otherworldly, mystical. It is goodness for its own benefit. Goodness for its own benefit. You sometimes will, or possibly have, seen a definition of virtue, that virtue is its own reward. You see, what it's relating to is that if one's consciousness has attained the higher awareness that is of the presence of this divine being that gives us breath and life in everything, that is, if someone's consciousness has arrived in that awareness of the presence of God in every person, in every place, in every condition, regardless of those conditions, if you recognize that the presence of God is actually evolving in the most limited expressions of life, it is always evolving, even as we evolve. You see, what we evolve to is this true nature, which is the divine nature of God within us. And we ultimately evolve by releasing the limited thinking and beliefs that have kept us from experiencing the benefit of being divine. I don't know how that will reach. If you understand that we are evolving, but we are evolving to a basic true nature that resides at the core of our soul awareness. So that in the process of living, because we are seeking happiness, we think it's happiness we're seeking, and we try to seek it outside of ourselves almost exclusively for a long time. Happiness is not really going to bring us the fulfillment that the soul is seeking. The soul is seeking a fulfillment of an understanding that it is divine. Its origin is divine. But it goes through the human experience, and along the way, the conscious awareness becomes more and more aware of what really makes for fulfillment, which is this divine goodness makes for fulfillment. I'm not even sure there are people that are attending Unity and these services that have a clear understanding about what the kingdom of heaven would actually be. But the kingdom of heaven, this is it. Our spiritual work, our spiritual practices are all about feeling good. That there's no other separate life or something that we have to get to, or some separate business that we have to do, or something else beside who we are, where we are right now, is wherever we are right now, and the soul goes on. It's an eternal character that continues in its journey. And if you read any of the Edgar Cayce stuff about this, the journey actually goes on beyond the physical earth to other dimensions. But right here, in this physical earth experience, all spiritual practice is not about getting to some distant heaven, but about feeling good, so that we ultimately arrive in a state of consciousness in which we are free of fear and worry and concern, which is all built up in the thinking of one who interprets life, the mind interpreting life as strictly a physical experience. You go around once, and that's it for you. If you didn't make it, or you didn't somehow please the separate, distant God, you've lost out. You may not wind up in heaven. All of that is so limited. You and I are here to evolve to a place where we feel good all the time. We feel good, and when you feel good, it's because you feel God. And it is not necessarily contingent on conditions and circumstances meeting one's personal desires, which is what, the thinking of the world is all about. The thinking of the world is all about bargaining. Everything we do is a bargain in the world. We're not good for the sake of goodness. If we're good, then we're doing something in the thinking of the world to gain something more, something better, something bigger. So it's a bargaining level of consciousness, the thinking of the world. So if we are providing some favor for someone or something, there's an ulterior motive in the mind of what that favor will bring back on this physical, personal level. But the practice of gratitude for the sake of goodness, which is its own benefit, is something that someone who's really focused on the truth that will make us free. You can't be free. You're not going to be free until you feel good. That is, till you feel God, till you know you're in the presence, regardless of the circumstances. So there'll always be some concern, some worry, some fear that's going on. And that will be enough to inspire us to continue our journey in practicing gratitude. The practice of mindful gratitude, that is, you have to be mindful, certainly in the beginning of the practice of the presence. You have to be mindful so that the conditions and circumstances of the world don't trick you or throw you off the path into the illusion of separation and one's personal illusionary idea of being a separate objective observer. So it requires an understanding of the golden rule. Can we have this next PowerPoint? This is to remind us, Matthew 7:11-12. If you then, who are worldly, know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will your Father, who is in heaven, give good things to those who ask him? So whatever you wish that men would do to you, do so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. I think that also applies to women. Whatever you wish that women would do to you, do so to them. For this is the law and the prophets. Because we're speaking from soul experience here. If you then who are worldly, that is, wrapped up in the initial awareness of the world, know even in that initial awareness, as limited as it is, that you will give good gifts to your children. How much more will your heavenly intelligence that gives you life give you good gifts if you simply align your thinking with this golden rule? Whatever you would have others do unto you, do so to them. You see, in a single line, that's all religion. Can you imagine a world in which everyone did that, even for one day? So it's enough to understand that. And this particular golden rule distills down to how you think about yourself and how you think about others and life in general. You see, nobody gave us this in a real clear way when we went through grammar school and high school. Maybe in some college courses. I know there are brilliant teachers who are relating really in-depth, life-transforming, mind-transforming knowledge. But we didn't get it ordinarily in our schooling. That awareness comes down to how one thinks about himself and others and life in general. And as Swami Rama said at a meeting I was at many, many years ago, if you don't like your life, change your mind. So here we are with this truth before us. And the Course in Miracles speaks to this truth that, listen to it, it's not going to go away. The person that channeled this from the Christ consciousness did it for nothing. There was no bargaining in doing it. It was supposed to be done, and it has been done. And what it says is, all minds are in communication. To the degree that one's personal consciousness has impeded that communication, that's another thing. That's what our journey is about. That's what our karma is all about. But all minds are in communication to a certain degree, depending on one's limited thinking, beliefs, desires, demands, and fears. I'll tell you, I learned this lesson firsthand. It was proved to me firsthand a while back. Norma and I, along with Del and Shad, went for a trip up to Steamboat Springs to visit Cintisha, who was in a dance camp up there. And so following this visit that we had kind of missed lunch. It was maybe about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. We're driving back to Boulder, and we stop at a Subway sandwich place, pick up Subway sandwiches, and we drive to the state park up in Steamboat Springs. And I pull in next to a picnic table. We take out our sandwiches and we're eating. And then this park ranger, a lady who couldn't have been more than 30 years old, she seemed to have almost dropped out of the sky, like maybe she was hiding behind a tree when we pulled in. All of a sudden she was there walking toward us, and she comes right up to me and she says, "Do you realize that you're violating the state park regulations?" I said, "How?" She said, "You're sitting here and you don't have a picnic permit." "A picnic permit?" "Yes." She says, "You see that big sign right there that you drove past? It's in there. You have to spend $10 if you want to picnic here in the park." And I'm already feeling different, because I was in the ministry at the time, and when I feel different, it's really different. So I'm thinking to myself, and with the thoughts I'm going through is, I pay the taxes that support this park, and you. And she must have been a Nazi in her past life, because she is right in my face. She already has this book out. She's going to write me a ticket for picnicking without a permit. And as she's doing this, I'm thinking to myself, there is no way on earth that I will ever, ever, ever pay this ticket. Ever. And she looks at me and she says, oh yeah, you're going to pay this ticket. I didn't say a word to her. I mean it. My thoughts just pierced her Nazi little forehead, and she heard it exactly as I thought it. I am never going to pay this ticket. Ever. You'll be dead and buried, and I will have not paid this ticket. She says, oh no, you're going to pay this ticket. And I was really taken aback a little bit, because she really just got the thought completely. Maybe it was my eyes burning into her, but she got the thought. And she hands me the ticket, and she says, you can pay the $25 now, and you don't have to come back up here to court. In my mind, I say, there's no way. I'm never coming back to Steamboat Springs. She says, well, if you don't want to do it, you're going to have to wind up paying this ticket. You know, in the mail, maybe. I don't know how you'll do it, but you're going to pay this ticket. And again, I'm just enraged at the whole thought of it. So I take the ticket and I drive away and go back to Boulder. Over the next couple of months, I get notices every now and then, notice that the ticket has now expanded. Now it's, $40. And then it's $60. No way I'm ever going to go up to Steamboat Springs and pay this stupid ticket. No way will I give it that satisfaction. I'm just throwing these notices away. And then Cintisha had an old broken down VW with all stupid tags hanging up, a big spider in the back window. It just looked like a junker to begin with, and she had covered it with all these decals and crap and bumper stickers. And the thing was sitting in the parking lot here, and it was broken down, and the door didn't work on the driver's side. You had to climb out through the passenger side of the car. And I couldn't stand looking at it anymore, so I said, you know what, I got to take this car to the house. It's not even worth trying to junk it. So I do. I take her car. I'm driving up to my house in the mountains. And for about, I don't know, 3 miles before I get to my house, there's a police car behind me, just tailing me. And I'm up on this road that leads to my house, and I've got Gashawi, the dog I had at that time, who is only a one-man dog. He's not happy with other people whatsoever. And so finally they put on the siren on this road, and I pull over. I can barely get the window only halfway down. The door doesn't open. And the police officer calls to me, "Come out of the car. We want to see your hands. Come out of the car with your hands in front of you." What, are you kidding me? So I'm yelling through the window, and the dog is just barking his head off. I can't hear anything. I'm trying to call out the window. This door doesn't open. I've got to get out of the other side. Finally, I don't even care. I climb out the other side of the car, and I go over there, and they say, "Okay, get up against the car," and the whole thing, and they got my name, my license, and then they go back to their patrol car, and they say, "All right, put your hands behind you." What? They cuffed me, put me in the patrol car. I said, "What about my dog? My dog is in my car." They said, "Well, you have to leave him there." I said, "Well, my house is only like, 150 yards away. Can I take him to the house?" So they agreed, yeah. So they take the cuffs off, let me drive the car, junking and punking away up to my driveway. I put the dog in the house. I come back, I get in the police car. They take me down to police headquarters. And I said, "What is going on here? I mean, if it was a traffic violation, I should get said, no, you're wanted." "I'm wanted?" "Yes, you're wanted in Steamboat Springs." "I'm wanted in Steamboat Springs?" "Yes, you have a picnic ticket that you've never paid." So the pain just continues now. The karma just grows. And I don't have, now the ticket is $75, and I don't have $75 with me. And the police aren't going to take a credit card. So they say, "We have to drive you back up to Steamboat Spring." I said, they said, wait, just wait, I'll call somebody. So I'm calling around the few numbers that I can remember in my head to try to find somebody I know. Norma's here at the choir. I know she's not going to get the phone call. So I finally get a hold of one of the board members at the time, and he has to come over and bail me out. He has to pay them $75 on the spot to pay for this ticket. And so all I can say is that there are some advantages to having a conscious awareness of the reality of gratitude. I think things would have gone better for me had I had that awareness. I might even have gotten away without having a ticket if I had was maintaining that awareness of divine truth, the presence of God in everybody, every person, every place, and that. So I want to leave you with this truth as cogently as it can be said. So I may miss a little bit of the meditation. Can we have this next PowerPoint? You can read this in the Course in Miracles text, the old text 428, the new edition 459. Correction cannot be accepted or refused by you without your brother, and that should be written brother and sister. Sin would maintain it can, yet reason tells you that you cannot see your brother or sister or yourself as sinful and still perceive the other innocent. Who looks upon himself as guilty and sees a sinless world? And who can see a sinful world and look upon himself apart from it? Sin would maintain you must be separate, but reason tells you that this must be wrong. If you are joined, how could it be that you have private thoughts? And how could thoughts that enter into what but seems like yours alone have no effect at all on what actually is yours? If minds are joined, this is impossible. Highest hurdle on the spiritual track. What it was just said. Can we take it back again, please? Correction, can you imagine this? Correction cannot even be accepted or refused by you without those outside of you. Sin would maintain it can. The ego maintains it can. Yet reason will tell you that you cannot see those outside of you, your neighbors, your brethren, or yourself as sinful, and still perceive the other innocent. Who looks upon himself as guilty and sees a sinless world? And who can see a sinful world and look upon himself apart from it? Sin would maintain you must be separate, but reason tells you that this must be wrong. If you are joined, how could it be that you have private thoughts? And how could thoughts that enter into what but seems like yours alone have no effect at all on what is yours? If minds are joined, this is impossible. So that's the high hurdle on the spiritual path. But let me say this, it's not so difficult to develop that mind of divine awareness that brings goodness itself is the reward of that awareness. So I'm going to share with you a few thoughts here. Can we have this next PowerPoint? That will help you get this. Here's how to cultivate a mind of divine goodness through cultivating gratitude. Each morning, be aware of 3 good things: a sunny day, meeting a friend for breakfast or lunch, the hostages are being released. Any 3 things will work. Just pick out 3 things. They don't have to be. Is there more to this? The good things don't have to be miraculous or wondrous or life-changing. They can be perfectly mundane or even boring. A pleasant phone call, you remember where you left your coffee mug, children at play, a good hair day, your yoga class feels great, your important emails have been answered, your Course in Miracles lesson is perfect, no need to hurry, just be present, etc., etc., etc. If one starts to just bring to mind these little favors of life, what will happen is the mind itself starts to hunger for that. The mind will start to look for things to be grateful for. Trust me, this will work. Just 3 tiny things in the beginning, in the morning. Carry them with you and return to them if you're beginning to feel off a little bit. And what will happen is the mind will look for things to be grateful for. Eventually, you will realize the benefit of gratitude as a level of consciousness in which there is no condemnation. There is only divine acceptance. There is only instant forgiveness. There is only willingness to bestow peace. So we're going to do that now with our meditation. We're going to embrace divine goodness. And all you have to do is get here. Just be here. And be okay with who you are, right here, right now. Be okay with this moment. Be grateful for life itself. As we listen to the tone of this beautiful crystal bowl, let us consider this particular idea. Bring it to mind gently as a mantra. This will quiet the incessant thinking of an ego-conditioned awareness. If you just bring this mantra gently to mind. God is love. Love is life. I am God's life. I am. God is love. Love is life. I am God's life. I am. Breathing in the I, breathing out the am. Entering the rhythm of the divine. God is love. Love is life. I am God's life. I am. I am. I am. as we go forth from this meditation to those places we occupy in time and space, let us go forth with a greater mindful awareness of the miracle of being alive. For this opportunity in every moment, we give thanks. And to this, we say, Amen. We will take an offering for unity now. As we bring to mind that offering we'd like to make, as we bring it into our hands, let's bless it with this offering prayer. Divine love, through me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive, because I give. And so it is.
Hold out to earth the torch divine. We are the lights of the earth. Shine out to earth the torch divine. We are the lights of the earth. Shine, shine, shine.
We have refreshments and tea in Fellowship Hall through these doors to your right. Those of you who'd like to stay and chat, have any questions about today's service or unity in general, we'll have a little circle of chairs in Fellowship Hall, and I will be over there to discuss with you in about 10 minutes. Everyone, have a beautiful day.